Nigerian singer and mixer, producer, of course, SIMI has been trending the past couple of days now, and it's because of our old tweets on X, formerly known as Twitter. You know, they resurfaced amidst her calling out, you know, abuse of women. Now, the SIMI we know is somebody who is very vocal when it comes to women's rights. Stop, you know, assaulting women, stop raping women, and all of those things. She's very vocal about it. She comes to the defense of women all the time. She's like a girl's big time, right? So imagine the shock when a particular situation happened on the internet. You know the story of a girl who came out to say somebody came into her home to, you know, physically have their way with her. I can't use the term now because, of course, the platform we are on and all of those things. And it became such a debate on the internet because it turned out that sort of maybe somehow the lady was lying, and then there were some other situations of that happening, you know, day in, day out. And SIMI came out to say, regardless of these women's situation, if they were speaking the truth or if what they were saying is not the truth, regardless of it, stop raping women. SIMI just said that. I mean, of course, people came for her and all that. Now, people now went as far back as 2012, 2013 to dig up some things concerning her. And in the light of that, a lot of persons are beginning to ask questions like, who is SIMI actually? Do we really know this lady? You know, because they even dug up something concerning her husband, Big Fish, Adekunle Gold, where he spoke in 2013 also, I think, about ladies and how he likes them defenseless and how he does not want them to cross their legs when they sit so he can get a glimpse of something. Now, in their defense, they're like, oh, we were in our 20s, we were young, we were stupid. But people are like, wait, you guys were married in 2019. And according to you people's story, you guys had been dating for 5 years before you got married. That means you guys started going out in like 2012, 2014, 2013, which is also the time that you guys were putting out this sort of tweet. So you were in your 20s, you were grown adults. And people started saying, oh, let's look into SIMI's mother's school, because apparently she made some tweets concerning children, you know, minors, right, who were schooling in our mom's institution, and she made some disturbing tweets about them, saying we have to also investigate and find the children that were there in those periods to see what their experience was like with Auntie SIMI. You know, just let's be certain. However, some other bodies have said there are no concrete evidences to support all of these claims. It could just be banter. And so it became, so what's the English now? Jesus Christ. It had become such a back and forth on the internet, people sharing their thoughts, their opinions, and giving several disclaimers and odd takes on the situation. Right. So I want us to talk about who SIMI is. Who is SIMI, the singer? Right. This woman was born SIMI Biography, but she's now SIMI Biography Kosoko, having gotten married to Prince Adekunle Kosoko in 2019 and welcoming a baby girl in 2020. This woman had a record label that she was signed to, but the contract expired in 2019. That's Extreme Music, and she started her own company, right? So she started doing her own thing independently. In 2020, she co-produced, mixed and mastered her husband's album titled Gold, and since then, her work has been very evident in her husband's projects, the release they do. She mixes the songs and all of the masters and all of those things. So she's sort of like a talented producer aside from being an award-winning amazing singer. This woman has won 7 Eddies Awards, having been nominated for about 21 or 17 of such awards. She's won several other awards internationally and of course locally here. She's been in the industry as far back as 2008, which is why it was very daunting and people started saying that tweet over in 2013 saying, as of 2013 you were a star. Do you understand? As of 2013, you weren't a nobody. You can't necessarily excuse it because like, oh, maybe she was trying to gain clout. You know, then when she posted that, she wanted people to talk about her. Maybe that but then it didn't really make it. It was just some sort of banter and people just responding to her, and then she replying to them and saying, oh, a 4-year-old was, you know, sexually assaulting her and then looking at her somehow and all of those things. So people found problems with that, saying, under no circumstance should you think it's okay to say such a thing concerning somebody. But she said she's grown since then, and of course it's evidence in our what should I call it now, in our posts and the things she says and the things she's done in recent years. Do you understand? But let's still talk about who she is and her journey, of course, into this thing. She's the last of 4 children. Her parents were separated at the age of 9, so that's why a lot of persons know Simi's mom, and that's because her parents are separated. So she grew up mostly with her mother and all of those things. Of course, she had the last born privilege. She's not from like a broke home. She's just from a normal average. I mean, maybe above average, because like I said, her mom owns a school. So it's not like they were doing poorly for them to be able to finance and afford, running a school. Do you understand what I mean? Anyways, her life is quite private to a certain extent, although she announced last December 2025, via their Christmas family shoot, that she's expecting a baby with her husband, a second child, following the birth of their first child back in 2020. Like I mentioned earlier, they are expecting a second child, although people already speculated that they had given birth to twins, but the family has not come out to publicly announce that they've welcomed the set of twins. So we don't even know if they're expecting twins or they are expecting a singleton or multiple children. We really can't tell, really don't know. But of course, we're going to give you a verified information when we have them for you. We are your one-shop plug for anything entertainment, lifestyle, news reports, celebrity updates, and everything happening across the globe. Yeah. But of course, we also like to let you know we are not journalists, and everything we're saying are things that we've gathered from the internet, and we are reacting to it, and of course, bringing them for your viewing pleasure. So please don't go quote us and say, oh, we said Simi had welcomed twins. Nobody said that to you. I just needed to put that out there, right? But yeah, moving on from the children's situation, I'd like to hear what you guys think concerning, because we're seeing it happen more recently. People going up to dig up. That's why they say the internet never forgets. People go and dig up people's story, people's posts from years ago. 2013 was more than 10 years ago, and if she's 37 now, right, she'll be 38 this year in 2026. She's 37 now. 10 years ago was 27. Take away 4 from that, she was like 23. But people are saying, but that then you knew to get into a relationship that led to marriage, so you can't necessarily excuse it as useful exuberance for whatever reason you might have posted it. That is what people are saying. Others are saying Simi needs to come out and publicly apologize and not just go under the, oh, people will forget. Because honestly though, people are beginning to forget about it. People are beginning to not talk about it anymore. I'm just doing this because people are asking questions about Simi's upbringing, Simi's growth, trying to pick what's the word now? To mix them together and juxtapose, and so that they can make a solid decision concerning the artist Simi. I don't think they can cancel out. I don't think cancellation is also in the books for her. I don't think that's what they are trying to do, because some of them are like, oh, let's cancel. Like, you were unable to cancel Naira Marley successfully. Why do you think you will cancel Simi? But yeah, that's another school of thought and another thing to look at. Yeah, so I'd like to hear you people's opinion on that in the comment section. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much for watching this one. Subscribe if you're yet to do so. Like this video if you enjoy it. You know the drill. You know I will do it here. I will see you in the next one. Until then,